Sorry? Okay. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Sunyavadi Askacharishatarini. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda Shri Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Shri Radha Gokulanda ki jai, Sitaram Lakshmana Hanuman ki jai, Shri Shri Gauranitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhans Pragacharya Ashtatar His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Avdet Gadadhar Shri Vashadi Gaur Bhakt Vrind ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Shri Mayapur Navdeep Dham ki jai, Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai, Shri Shri Ganga Mai, Yamuna Mai, Tulsi Devi, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Samvit Gaur Bhakt Vrind ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I request everyone to be seated, please, for the short Shrihari prayers. Thank you. Namaste Narasingahaya. Prahlad Lad Daine. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Shila Tankana Thalaye. Ito Nasingho Parito Nasingho. Yato Yato Yamitato Nasingho. Bahe Nasingho Hirdaye Nasingho. Narsinghamadi Sharanam Prapade. Tava Kara Kamala Vare Nakham Adbhut Nasingha. Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa. Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa. Jai Jagadish Hare. Jai Jagadish Hare. Jai Jagadish Hare. तव कर कमल वरे नखा अद्भुत श्रृंगार दरिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय प्रहलाद महाराज की जय शिल प्रभुपाद की जय निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल. There will be Mahaprasad serving now in the Haveli, so please take the Mahamarsi before you go. Thank you for coming to Bhaktivedanta Manor. Hare Krishna. since it's a special Purushottam month, we're going to sing this special song. It's said that it's very auspicious to sing this song. It's called Chorashtakam about Lord Krishna. You can all sing along. I'll sing one line and you can sing the next.
Mama Sarvameva Param Shama
Okay, we'll read the translation of the song now. For my respectful obeisances to that foremost of thieves, who is famous in Braja as the butter thief, and he who steals the gopis' clothes, and who, for those who take shelter of him, steals the sins which have accrued over many lifetimes. I offer my respectful obeisances to the foremost of thieves, who steals Srimati Radhika's heart, who steals the dark luster of a fresh rain cloud, and who steals all the sins and sufferings of those who take shelter of his feet. He turns his surrendered devotees into paupers and wandering homeless beggars. Alas, such a fearsome thief has never been seen or heard of in all the three worlds. Mere utterance of his name purges one of a mountain of sins. Such an astonishingly wonderful thief I have never seen or heard of anywhere. O thief, having stolen my wealth, my honor, my senses, my life, and my everything, where can you run to? I have caught you with the rope of my devotion. You cut the terrible noose of Yamaraj. You severed the dreadful noose of material existence, and you slash everyone's material bondage, but you are unable to cut the knot fastened by your own loving devotees. O stealer of my everything, O thief, today I have imprisoned you in the miserable prison house of my heart, which is very fearful due to the terrible darkness of my ignorance, and therefore, for a very long time, you will remain receiving appropriate punishment for your crimes of thievery. O Krishna, thief of my everything, the noose of my devotion remaining forever tight, you will continue to reside in the prison house of my heart, because I will not release you for millions of eons. Chorashtakam ki jai.
So this is a really beautiful song written by Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur. He describes the Lord as a thief of so many things. Krishna, of course, is famous as a butter thief. He's also famous for stealing the clothes of the gopis in Vrindavan. And he's famous for stealing the sinful reactions of those who surrender unto him. Only Krishna can get away with being a thief. Everyone else ultimately gets caught and thrown in jail. So Bilva Mangala Thakur says that, I have caught you finally, Krishna. I have caught this thief, Krishna, and bound him by my devotion, and keeping him in the prison house of my heart. Krishna can only be bound by the love of his devotees. And of course, we know this from his Damodar Lila during Kartik month. Every day we're celebrating how Krishna was bound with the ropes of his mother. Only because he agreed, otherwise it's not possible. He is unlimited. It's not possible to tie the unlimited Supreme with any amount of rope. But when Krishna agrees, then, and why does he agree? How does he agree? Just like Lord Brahma says, that Krishna, who is Ajita, unconquerable, he becomes conquered by one who dedicates the body, the mind, and the words to Krishna Katha, the narrations spoken about Krishna, vibrated by Krishna's pure devotees. When one dedicates oneself to hearing and chanting these narrations, then Krishna, who is Ajita, he becomes Jita, he becomes conquered. So he can only be conquered and he can only be bound by bhakti, by devotion. And the first item of devotional service is Shravanam, hearing. So every day we're reading from this book called Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And yesterday we're reading in the chapter describing the fight between Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva. And why were they fighting? Because Krishna came to this demon, Banasura, came to his city. Why did he come to Banasura city? Because Krishna's grandson was being held captive there. So he came to release him. And Lord Shiva was there because he was the patron of this Banasura. Banasura was devoted to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva was very pleased with him. Offered him various benedictions, not the least of which was 1,000 arms, with which he wanted to find a suitable competitor to battle. So when Krishna arrived there, he found his match. So Lord Shiva personally wanted to protect the city of Banasura and led his soldiers. So a great fight ensued between Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva. And both of them ultimately released their great weapons. Lord Shiva had his Shiva Jwara, which was excessively hot. And Lord Krishna had his Narayan Jwara, which was excessively cold. And by the combination of these two Jwaras, these two personified weapons, who came out on top, excessive heat or excessive cold? Well, the Narayan Jwara came out on top. Under the conditions of excessive cold, everything collapses. And the Shiva Jwara realized that he had no shelter in the face of this cold Narayan Jwara. And Lord Shiva even could not save him. He had to surrender to Krishna himself, which he did. And there was a wonderful benediction from hearing this narration. And the benediction was that one who remembers the fight between the Shiva Jwara and the Narayan Jwara will be free from all fearfulness. So if we want to be free from fear, we just have to remember how the Shiva Jwara and the Narayan Jwara met each other on the battlefield, and Lord Krishna's Narayan Jwara was victorious. So, in the meantime, by the way, Banasura, prior to these two Jwaras coming together, he had fled the battlefield, having been defeated. But he managed to regather some strength, and he returned. Srila Prabhupada writes, Banasura somehow or other recovered from his setbacks, and with rejuvenated energy, returned to fight. So remember, Banasura was devoted to Lord Shiva, and he had received this blessing of 1,000 arms. He was a demon. Why was he a demon? Because, well, for the same reason that anybody is a demon, they are opposed to the actual Supreme, Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu, same person. He is supreme, and if anyone has a problem with Krishna or Vishnu, then that mentality is demoniac. Because each of us is part and parcel of Krishna. And if we have a problem with our source, if we have a problem with our whole, of which we are but a part, then that is a perverse mentality, demonic mentality. So Banasura, he liked very much Lord Shiva, but he did not recognize the supremacy of Lord Vishnu or Krishna. So he returned to fight. This time, Banasura appeared before Lord Krishna, who was seated on his chariot, with different kinds of weapons in his 1,000 hands. Banasura was very much agitated. He began to splash his different weapons, like torrents of rain, upon the body of Lord Krishna. When Lord Krishna saw the weapons of Banasura coming at him, like water coming out of a strainer, he took his sharp-edged Sudarshana disc and began to cut off the demon's 1,000 hands, one after another, just as a gardener trims the twigs of a tree with sharp cutters. When Lord Shiva saw that his devotee Banasura could not be saved, even in his presence, he came to his senses and personally came before Lord Krishna and began to pacify him by offering the following prayers. So this is where we left off yesterday. We're going to now read Lord Shiva's prayers to Lord Krishna. This should be very interesting. This is not a formal lecture, by the way. We are inviting everybody during this time to simply listen. And if you have any reflections or questions as we're going through, please raise your hand or yell out, and we'll talk about it. Yeah?
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
So, I don't want to divert the class on. You mentioned that if we oppose the Lord, then that is a perverse mentality. Is it more than opposing the Lord that actually we wish to supplant the Lord's enjoyment with our own? Or is that an extension? Does that naturally flow? The reason we oppose the rules is actually we would quite like to occupy the role.
Yeah. I mean, the meaning of life is to enjoy, but the demonic mentality means let me enjoy, separate from the Lord. Whereas the divine mentality is I will enjoy only in dependence upon the Lord. So if the Lord wants me to enjoy, I will enjoy. Or when the Lord enjoys, I will enjoy with the Lord. I will only accept enjoyment from the Lord. That is all. Whereas the demonic mentality will mean, right, never mind, what, the Lord, what, who? I'm the Lord. I'm the enjoyer. Let me enjoy. And therefore anybody that is an obstacle to my enjoyment should be eliminated, including Vishnu. Yeah, I'll think like that. So when Hiranyakashipu was, when his brother was killed, yeah, he said, he was hell-bent on revenge. And he had all kinds of threats. I'm going to do this to Vishnu, and I'm going to begin by persecuting all the things dear to him. Yeah, the brahmanas, the cows. Yeah, we'll just take them all out. So, yeah, not accepting my position as part of, not accepting my subordination, my natural subordination to something greater than myself. And therefore, I want to enjoy separately. But the devotee thinks, let Krishna enjoy. And if Krishna enjoys, then I'm part of Krishna, so I'll be fine, right? Srila Prabhupada, in one lecture, he points this out very, very clearly. It's so simple that our enjoyment is actually secured when we agree to cooperate with the enjoyment of Krishna. It's that simple. We participate in Krishna's enjoyment, right, by serving him, cooperating with him. What is his will? And then naturally, because we're part of the whole, we will feel enjoyment. We will actually enjoy on the spiritual platform.
Like if you water the root of a plant, you don't have to water each leaf independently. If you just water the root, automatically all the little leaves and twigs.
Yes. Yeah, that's the example. There's always two examples given. The watering the root, by which the whole plant is nourished. You don't have to separately rub water into each leaf or twig. And then the other example is that the hand is part of the body. And when the hand cooperates with the whole body, how? By supplying food to the mouth, which goes to the belly. So there's a specific way in which the hand can serve the body to help itself. If the hand decides, why does the stomach have to get all the food? Why can't I enjoy the food myself separately? Then that will be failure. So material suffering means failure at enjoying. Why? Because we're not following the correct method to enjoy. We're not supplying food to the center, not serving the center. If we recognize there's the center, Krishna, let me cooperate, let me agree to his process for satisfying the whole, then the hand also benefits. Every limb, every little part of the complete body benefits by that service. So it's really about recognizing my place in the grand scheme of things and cooperating. And when we cooperate with the center, we also can properly enjoy. And the demonic mentality says, no, I refuse to recognize the supremacy of another party. I will establish independently my lordship. And the result is failure, frustration, the hand tries to absorb the nutrients of the food by squashing it, right? I'm going to get this, I'm going to enjoy for myself. Forget about supplying the belly. Let me enjoy the food. But really, the happiness of the hand is secured by serving the stomach. The happiness of every living entity, each of us, is secured by serving the will of the center, the Supreme Krishna. It's just, directing my endeavors for enjoyment towards the center, as opposed to trying to, seize all sources of enjoyment and making myself the center, isn't it? It's a very simple switch, but we constantly need reminded. Serve Krishna, right? Make Krishna the center. Think about Krishna's pleasure and satisfaction. We're just so habituated to, having the opposite way. Make myself the center. Thanks, Prabhu. Thank you. Lord Shiva said, so these are Lord Shiva's prayers to Krishna. My dear Lord, you are the worshipable object of the Vedic hymns. One who does not know you considers the impersonal Brahmajyoti to be the ultimate, supreme, absolute truth, without any knowledge that you are existing behind your spiritual effulgence in your eternal abode. Yeah. How many people here have the conception that the Supreme, or God, the truth, the ultimate rest, is some, all expansive light? How many of us have come with that idea? Anybody? Anybody has that idea, or has had that idea in the past? Sorry? In the early part. Did you used to do that, Prabhu? Yeah, you used to meditate on the sun. The light, huh? You stare into the light until you become the light. So some people, actually many people, might have this notion that everything in this world, all variety, all form, all relationships, all different kinds of experiences, some people think that ultimately is all fake. It's illusion. And that liberation really means to kind of enter some state of passivity, some kind of blissful passivity where I just get to be, and I just get to realize that I am the center, I am the one, I am the everything. Actually, they have no center because they think that everything just merges into homogeneous oneness. But Lord Shiva himself says here, confirms here, that this is mistaken. He says, one who does not know you, Krishna, considers the Brahmajyoti, Krishna's light, Krishna's impersonal energy, effulgence. One who does not know Krishna considers that Brahmajyoti to be the ultimate, supreme, absolute truth, without any knowledge that you are existing behind your spiritual effulgence in your eternal abode. In the Isha Upanishad, towards the end, the devotee is praying, my dear Lord, please remove your covering, the covering of your dazzling effulgence, so that Satyasapi Tam Mukam, so that I can see your face, your smiling face. Your Brahmajyoti is so dazzling that I can't actually see the source of this Jyoti. I can't see the source of this light, which is Lord Krishna's supreme personal form, which is Krishna. There's no difference between Krishna and Krishna's form. I have this body, it has a certain shape and size, but it's not me, because I'm the soul. I'm not this suit of skin and everything that it contains. But Krishna doesn't have a suit of skin. Krishna is his Satchidananda Vigraha. He is his form. His body is eternal. His body is full of knowledge. His body is completely blissful. There's no difference between Krishna's body and Krishna's self. There's no difference between the inside of Krishna and the outside of Krishna. He is his form. So this form, Krishna, is the source of an unlimited impersonal light. Krishna himself says, Brahmano hi pratishtaham. I am the source of the impersonal Brahman. My dear Lord, you are therefore called Param Brahman. This word, Param Brahman, has been used in the Bhagavad Gita to identify you. Our Lord Shiva is referring here to Bhagavad Gita, which is an eternal scripture. Para Brahman. There's Brahman, the supreme spirit, and there's Para Brahman, the ultimate source of all other energy, of all energy. Saintly persons who have completely cleansed their hearts of all material contamination can realize your transcendental form, although you are all-pervading like the sky, unaffected by any material thing. Only the devotees can realize you, and no one else. In the impersonalist's conception of your supreme existence, the sky is just like your navel, the fire is your mouth, and the water is your semina. The heavenly planets are your head. All the directions are your ears. The Urvi planet is your lotus feet. The moon is your mind, and the sun is your eye. So impersonalists who don't know about Krishna's ultimate spiritual form, they imagine the universe as being his form, because they have no information of his supreme spiritual form. Lord Shiva says, as far as I am concerned, I act as your ego. The ocean is your abdomen, and the king of heaven, Indra, is your arm. Trees and plants are the hairs on your body, the hairs of your body. The cloud is the hair on your head, and Lord Brahma is your intelligence. So the idea is that the whole universe itself is a form of the Lord, a body of the Lord. But it's not his original transcendental body. It's a conceptual body. When we look at the clouds in the sky, we can think, oh, that is the hair of Krishna. When we see the trees, we can think, those are the hairs in the body of Krishna. When we see the mountains, those are the stacks of his bones. When we see the rivers, those are his veins. When we see the ocean, that is his navel. When we think of Lord Indra, that is the arms of the Supreme, one of his arms. Lord Brahma is his intelligence. In this way, everything within the universe can be thought of as part of the universal body of the Lord. All the great progenitors, known as Prajapatis, are your symbolic representatives. And religion is your heart. The impersonal feature of your supreme body is conceived of in this way. So this conception that everything in the universe is a part of God's body, this is actually the impersonal feature of your supreme body. But Lord Shiva says, you are ultimately the supreme person. So the impersonal feature of your supreme body is conceived of in this way, as the universe. But you are ultimately the supreme person. The impersonal feature of your supreme body is only a small expansion of your energy. You are likened to the original fire, and the expansions are your light and heat. So this whole universe is simply the energy of the Supreme Lord. And Krishna is the original source of everything. Lord Shiva continued, my dear Lord, although you are manifested universally, different parts of the universe are the different parts of your body. And by your inconceivable potency, you can simultaneously be both localized and universal. Localized and universal. Krishna is bigger than the biggest and smaller than the smallest. In the Brahma Samhita, we also find it stated that although you always remain in your abode, Goloka Vrindavana, you are nevertheless present everywhere. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, you appear to protect the devotees, which indicates good fortune for all the universe. Krishna comes here specifically to give protection and to give pleasure to his devotees. And this indicates good fortune for all the universe. All of the demigods are directing different affairs of the universe by your grace only. Thus, the 7 upper planetary systems are being maintained by your grace. At the end of this creation, all manifestations of your energies, whether in the shape of demigods, human beings, or lower animals, enter into you, and all immediate and remote causes of cosmic manifestation rest in you without distinctive features of existence. In other words, everything is generated from the Lord. From Mahavishnu, innumerable universes come out from his skin pores. And that happens along with his exhalation, one breath, one out breath, and all of these universes are generated. And when he breathes back in, everything rests within his body. All of the causes of cosmic manifestation, they lie in a dormant condition within his body. Ultimately, there is no possibility of distinction between yourself and any other thing on an equal level with you or subordinate to you. In other words, nothing is equal to Krishna or above him. There is no possibility of distinction between yourself and any other thing on an equal level with you or subordinate to you. Everything comes from Krishna. And so everything is Krishna's energy. You are simultaneously the cause of this cosmic manifestation and its ingredients as well. You are the supreme whole, one without a second. In the phenomenal manifestation, there are 3 stages. The stage of consciousness, the stage of semi-consciousness in dreaming, and the stage of unconsciousness. During the day, we're conscious of all the different things we interact with, all of our different tasks and goals and relationships. When we dream at night, this is semi-consciousness. And when we are in deep, dreamless sleep, this is unconsciousness, shushupti. So there's always these 3 stages in this phenomenal manifestation, this material world. We're either conscious of the external sense objects, or we're dreaming of them, or we are unconscious. Lord Shiva continues, but your Lordship is transcendental to all these different material stages of existence. You exist, therefore, in a 4th dimension. And your appearance and disappearance do not depend on anything beyond yourself. And Krishna is in the 4th dimension. You are the supreme cause of everything. But for yourself, there is no cause. The Brahma Samhita says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Brahma. Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. Krishna is Sarva Karana Karana. He's the cause of all causes. Everything has a cause. Like this foam cushion here. What are the causes of this cushion? Well, there's the material cause. The foam that was manufactured in someone's factory. How was the foam manufactured? Well, they brought together some ingredients. I'd have to think about what actually makes foam. And it's shaped in some factory. And then the cover is also manufactured from some fabric or plastic. And you have some worker and some business-minded person who figures out how to bring this all together and employs some labor to get it done. And voila, foam cushion. Yeah? But what is the cause of all the ingredients that go into this foam cushion? Sorry? For the cover? But where did the ingredients originate? Yeah? Let's say some plastic was there. Some plastic was used to make the foam cushion. What caused the plastic? Plastic is usually made from oil, right? Some oil is required. By chemical process, the oil is converted into plastic. So, where did the oil come from? Who caused the oil? And then the man with the brain that figured out how to put this together and made a business, where did he come from? Well, he came from his father and mother. Okay, well, where did they come from? They came from their father and mother, and so on and so on. Going all the way back to who? The first created being in the universe, Lord Brahma. Well, where did he come from? He came from the navel of Lord Vishnu. I mean, first of all, there was a lotus flower. He appeared on top of the lotus. But he was generated from Lord Vishnu, Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. Where does Garbhodakashaya Vishnu come from? He's an expansion of Mahavishnu. Where does Mahavishnu come from? He's an expansion of Lord Narayana. Where does Lord Narayana expand from? Ultimately going back to Mahasankarshana, Lord Balaram, and Sri Krishna, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. So everything has a cause, yeah? Including the man that made the foam and the foam itself. And what's the original cause? What is the cause that has no cause? That's what we're after. That is God. What is the cause that is not caused by anything else? That is Shri Krishna. He is Sarva Karana Karanam, the cause of all causes. That is Krishna. The cause of all causes. So Lord Shiva is describing Krishna as the cause of all causes. He says, you are the supreme cause of everything. But for yourself, there is no cause. Right? Krishna is not caused by someone else or something else. He is where the buck stops. And he is the apex, the summum bonum, the alpha and the omega, right? He is the beginning, the middle, and the end. He has no cause. He is the cause of everything. Lord Shiva continues, you yourself cause your own appearance and disappearance. Despite your transcendental position, my Lord, in order to show your 6 opulences and advertise your transcendental qualities, you have appeared in your different incarnations. Fish, Matsya, right? Matsyadev. Tortoise, Kurmadev. Boar, Varahadev. Nrsimha, right? Half man, half lion. Keshava, etc. You have appeared in your different incarnations by your personal manifestation. And you have appeared as different living entities by your separated manifestations. So there's 2 manifestations here. There's personal manifestation. This is Vishnu avatar, Vishnu Tattva. Krishna manifests and appears in multi-incarnations. These are personal expansions of himself. And he also appears as separated manifestations. Right? That means each of us, right, among others, separated manifestations. We're not equal to Krishna, rather we are tiny, fragmental parts of him. He says, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Atma, we are Atma. Yeah? Krishna is Paramatma, right. So, as Paramatma means Krishna's personal manifestation. Paramatma is a personal expansion of Vishnu. Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. Yes, this is Paramatma. He's localized in the heart. localized personal manifestation, Paramatma. And separated manifestation, Jivatma. Me, you, every conscious entity confined to a particular body in this room. We are Jivatma, tiny fragmental part of the Lord, eternally so, never to become one with the Lord, never to merge with His existence in any final sense. Our dimension, you could say, and our identity is eternal. It is unchangeable. We are an eternal fragment, separated manifestation of Krishna's energy. So Lord Shiva says, and you have appeared as different living entities by your separated manifestations. By your internal potency, you appear as the different incarnations of Vishnu. So the Lord says, by Atmamaya Svabhavajam, I appear as I am by my own internal energy. And by your external potency, you appear as the phenomenal world. In other words, Krishna and Krishna's appearances, they are all completely spiritual. They have no material qualities. But everything in this universe, everything that we encounter, made of this material energy, that is Krishna's external potency, Bahiranga Shakti. And that external potency is like a shadow. A shadow. You could say, you can't say the internal potency is like his reflection, and the external potency is like his shadow. The internal potency is counterpart, spiritual counterpart. Along with the sun, there's the sunshine. But wherever the sun shines, there's also a shadow. There must be a shadow. So the external energy, the material energy, is like shadow. And the internal energy is intimately connected with Krishna. The shadow has an indirect connection. Indirect connection. But the light itself has a direct connection to its source. Lord Shiva continues, because it is a cloudy day to the common man's eyes, the sun appears to be covered. But the fact is that because the sunshine creates the cloud, even though the whole sky is cloudy, the sun can never actually be covered. Yeah? The cloud is the creation of the sun. So when the cloud appears, it's not that it gets to cover the sun. No. The cloud simply covers the vision of those who are trying to appreciate the sun. The cloud is a barrier or an obstacle to someone's vision of the sun. But if you rise above the cloud, then the sun is fully shining, very present and visible. So the sun can never actually be covered. Similarly, the less intelligent class of men claims that there is no God. But when the manifestation of different living entities and their activities is visible, enlightened persons see you present in every atom and through the via media of your external and marginal energies. So a less intelligent person will say there is no God. Just as someone who is covered by a cloud, or who has a cloud above them, says there is no sun. Yeah. If they'd never seen the sun, or they didn't know what a sun looked like, and all they knew was cloudy skies, and you said, oh, have you never seen the sun? There's a sun above those clouds. And the person might not believe you. They say, I don't see a sun, therefore there is no sun. Because their vision of the sun is covered by a cloud. In the same way, less intelligent people say there is no God. But when the manifestation of different living entities and their activities is visible, enlightened persons see you present in every atom and through the via media of your external and marginal energies. So enlightened persons, when they look out into the world, they see Krishna's energies. Yeah. Someone who knows what the sun is and understands there is a sun above the cloud knows that the cloud that I'm looking at is a creation of the sun. The sun has evaporated the water of the earth, and this cloud is the result. So they connect the cloud to the source of the cloud. They see the cloud and they think, this is an energy of the sun, creation of the sun. An enlightened person looks out and sees Krishna's material world and sees Krishna's fragmental parts, the spirit souls that are animating this material world. He sees bodies animated by souls. Yes? And he knows that here are Krishna's energies. Krishna's external material energy and Krishna's marginal energy, Jivatma. This is what an enlightened person sees. Someone else says, I don't see God, there is no God. Ignorant person thinks like that. And an enlightened person says, I see God everywhere because I see God's energies everywhere. Knowing that all of these energies are generated from the Supreme Lord. So enlightened persons see you present in every atom as Paramatma, right? And through the via media of your external and marginal energies. Your unlimited potential activities are experienced by the most enlightened devotees. But those who are bewildered by the spell of your external energy identify themselves with this material world and become attached to society, friendship, and love. So the most enlightened devotees experience Krishna's unlimited potential activities. They see how everything is working according to Krishna's design and arrangement. They see everything within Krishna and Krishna within everything. Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, for one who sees me everywhere and everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. So those who are enlightened in Krishna consciousness, they have divine vision. But those who are bewildered by Maya, this material energy, and are caught under her spell, they identify themselves with this matter. They think, I am this body, I am this family, I am this country, this is mine, these are my relatives, these are my friends. They identify with this material world and become attached to society, friendship, and love. Temporary society, friendship, and love.
Lost.
Huh?
Lost.
Lost? Lost, yeah. Thus they embrace the threefold miseries of material existence and are subjected to the dualities of pain and pleasure. They are sometimes drowned in the ocean of attachment and sometimes taken out of it. This is another very nice example that material happiness is like being allowed to take a gasp of air after being held under the water, practically to the point of drowning. And then just before just before giving up your life, you're allowed up for a nice gasp of air, and you think, this is very nice. So your whole definition of happiness depends upon your base state of putting up with the misery. That's the what's the word? What's the word? That's base level. That's default setting, right? Default setting. Threefold miseries: the pains of this body and mind, the pains inflicted upon me by other people and animals and insects and whatever comes at me and whatever they throw at me, and the miseries inflicted by the environment. It's too hot, it's too cold, it's raining, it's blowing a gale. There's a hurricane coming and it's going to rip out our house. The volcano has erupted and we have to flee. These are miseries inflicted by the environment, Adi Daivika Klesha. So threefold miseries: my own body and mind, other living entities, and natural disturbances. So one who identifies with his material nature accepts these three types of miseries and is subjected to the dualities of pain and pleasure. They are sometimes drowned in the ocean of attachment and sometimes taken out of it. Lord Shiva continues, my dear Lord, only by your mercy and grace can the living entity get a human form of life, which is a chance to get out of the miserable condition of material existence. So it's by Krishna's grace that one gets a human body. And what does this human body give someone? It gives one the chance to escape the miserable condition of this material world. So one who's a little bit aware of his existential condition thinks, this is not good. This is no good. Whatever I become attached to, I lose. And that causes me pain. And not only that, I'm forced to accept conditions that I actually don't want. I don't want to break a leg, I don't want to become bankrupt. I don't want to watch my parents die. I don't want, so many things. But I'm forced to accept so many things. So if we're a little bit aware, we will consider, this is not normal. Why should I accept this? Why should I accept this status quo and think that this is fine? This is not fine. Why should I have to grow old? Why should I have to get sick? Why should I have to die? Why should I have to watch the death of anyone around me? Why should I have to watch the death of those near and dear? Why should I put up with this? Why should I accept this as normal? This is intelligence. How to get out of this condition, how to solve it. This is real intelligence. So the human form of life offers one a chance to get out of the miserable condition of material existence. And this human life is obtained by Krishna's grace. However, a person who possesses a human body, but who cannot bring the senses under control, is carried away by the waves of sensual enjoyment. As such, he cannot take shelter of your lotus feet and thus engage in your devotional service. The life of such a person is very unfortunate, and anyone living such a life of darkness is certainly cheating himself and thus cheating others also. Therefore, human society without Krishna consciousness is a society of cheaters and the cheated. So there is a way of getting out, yes, and it means taking advantage of this rare human body and prosecuting the activities of Krishna consciousness, beginning with hearing about the Lord and chanting His glories and His holy name and fame. This is the way out. However, people who are too much addicted to material sense enjoyment, they're not able to take up the process with proper determination. Their life practically becomes spoiled, chasing after fleeting pleasure, fleeting sensual pleasures. So they become slaves to the senses, and they're unable to actually extricate themselves from the entanglement of material connection. They wrap themselves around the feelings, the pleasures of sensual contact. And again they seek that contact, seek that pleasure. I have to get, the same again, more please, more. Whatever it is. Being addicted to so many varieties of material stimulation. And they spoil the opportunity to go inward and to find out the source of transcendental happiness. And thus they simply cheat themselves, and they cheat others also. Because what can they give others? What information or what impetus can they give others to realize one's true self-interest? They will simply lead others into a ditch. They're blind, and they'll fall into a ditch, and they'll lead others into the same ditch, because they don't know that the ultimate goal is Vishnu. They're concerned with Bahirartha. That absorbs their mind. External objects of gratification. And because of the obsession and the addiction to external objects of gratification, they're like the blind leading the blind. I'm running after, wealth, pleasure, fame, profit, adoration, distinction in this material world, and I'm telling everybody else that that's what they also should be interested in, and I'm also getting them to worship me. So simply the blind leading the blind, and falling into a ditch, and growing old and dying, and then having to come back again to chew the chewed, to simply chew again what has already been chewed over and over and over and over, with no new result. Chewing the chewed, cheating and being cheated. So what's the solution? Well, the solution is to, of course, take shelter, find shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna, and to engage in His loving devotional service. And this requires mercy. This requires the mercy of Krishna's devotees. If we get Krishna's devotees' mercy, then our attention and our energy can be redirected toward a spiritual goal. We can be helped. We can be rehabilitated. We can come off our addiction to this material world. Lord Shiva continues. Actually, first of all, any thoughts, reflections, or questions? Anything particularly striking that you've heard? Okay, Lord Shiva continues. My Lord, he's speaking to Lord Shri Krishna. My Lord, you are actually the dearmost supersoul of all living entities and the supreme controller of everything. You are actually the dearmost supersoul of all living entities and the supreme controller of everything. The human being who is always illusioned is afraid of ultimate death. A man who is simply attached to sensual enjoyment voluntarily accepts the miserable material existence. and thus wanders after the will-o'-the-wisp of sense pleasure. He is certainly the most foolish man, for he drinks poison and puts aside the nectar. Always chasing some kind of sense pleasure that is out of reach. Or if he catches it, it evaporates in front of him. Just like the animal chasing water in the desert. He thinks he sees water, an oasis, and he runs after that oasis. But as he chases it, it seems to constantly remain aloof, remain at a distance. Why? Because it's not actually an oasis. It's a mirage. The mirage appears to be an oasis in the desert. So he is certainly the most foolish man, for he drinks poison and puts aside the nectar, running after some paltry sense enjoyment, and does not realize the source of supreme bliss that is existing in his own heart. My dear Lord, all the demigods, including myself, Lord Shiva, and Lord Brahma, as well as great saintly persons and sages who have cleansed their hearts of this material attachment, have, by your grace, wholeheartedly taken shelter of your lotus feet. We have all taken shelter of you because we have accepted you as the Supreme Lord and the dearmost life and soul of all of us. Lord Shiva is making it very clear that he himself, Lord Brahma, and all other demigods accept Lord Sri Krishna as the Supreme Lord and the dearmost life and soul of all of us. You are the original cause of this cosmic manifestation. You are its supreme maintainer, and you are the cause of its dissolution also. You are equal to everyone, the most peaceful, supreme friend of every living entity. And Krishna is available. He's ready for everybody, equally. He's waiting for each of us. And he is the most peaceful, supreme friend of everyone. You are the supreme worshipable object for every one of us. My dear Lord, let us always be engaged in your transcendental loving service so that we may get free from this material entanglement. Lastly, my Lord, I may inform you that this Banasura is very dear to me. Interesting. Banasura, he's an asura, he's a demon. Yeah, he's not favorable, not interested in Krishna. But he was dear to Lord Shiva. He somehow got the mercy of Lord Shiva. So if we, even if we are ignorant of Krishna, if somehow or other we please a devotee of Krishna, then all good fortune is upon us. How could Banasura get to fight personally with the Supreme Lord? So fortunate to encounter Krishna directly. This is by the grace of a Vaishnava, by the grace of Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva says, lastly, my Lord, I may inform you that this Banasura is very dear to me. He has rendered very valuable service unto me. Therefore, I want to see him happy. I want to see him always happy. And imagine Lord Shiva is very pleased with you. Yeah? Considers your service to him very valuable. And therefore, he always wants to see you happy. Lord Shiva says, being pleased with him, I have given him the assurance of safety. I pray to you, my Lord, that as you were pleased upon his forefathers, King Prahlad and Bali Maharaj, you will also be pleased with him. This is the way of success. If we can get a devotee of Krishna to pray for us, then we are in good nick. We're in a good position. After hearing Lord Shiva's prayer, Lord Krishna addressed him also as Lord and said, "My dear Lord Shiva, I accept your statements, and your desire for Banasura is also accepted by me. I know that this Banasura is the son of Bali Maharaj, and as such I cannot kill him, because that is my promise. I gave a benediction to King Prahlad that all the demons who would appear in his family would never be killed by me. Therefore, without killing this Banasura, I have simply cut off his arms to deprive him of his false prestige. The large number of soldiers which he was maintaining became a burden on this earth, and I have killed them all in order to minimize the burden. Now he has 4 remaining arms, and he will remain immortal without being affected by the material pains and pleasures. I know that he is one of the chief devotees of your Lordship, so you can now rest assured that henceforward he need have no fear from anything." When Banasura was benedicted by Lord Krishna in this way, he came before the Lord and bowed down before him, touching his head to the earth. He immediately arranged to bring Aniruddha, along with his daughter Usha, seated on a nice chariot, and presented them before Lord Krishna. After this, Lord Krishna took charge of Aniruddha and Usha, who had become very opulent materially because of the blessings of Lord Shiva. Thus, keeping forward a division of 1 Akshavahini of soldiers, Krishna began to proceed toward Dwarka. In the meantime, all the people at Dwarka, having received the news that Lord Krishna was returning with Aniruddha and Usha in great opulence, decorated every corner of the city with flags, festoons, and garlands. All the big roads and crossings were carefully cleansed and sprinkled with sandalwood pulp mixed with water. Everywhere there was the flavor of sandalwood. All the citizens, accompanied by their friends and relatives, welcomed Lord Krishna with great pomp and jubilation. At that time, there was a tumultuous vibration of conch shells and drums and bugles to receive the Lord. In this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, entered his capital, Dwarka. Shukadeva Goswami assured King Parikshit that the narration of the fight between Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna is not at all inauspicious like ordinary fights. This is not like recounting some battle from a world war, or some medieval skirmish. This is a transcendental fight. It's not at all inauspicious. On the contrary, if one remembers the narration of this fight between Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva in the morning and takes pleasure in the victory of Lord Krishna, he will never experience defeat anywhere in his struggle of life. Nice benediction. So if you don't wish to experience defeat anywhere in the struggle of life, then in the morning one should simply remember the narration of this fight between Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva. You can get this Krishna book and read this chapter every morning. Of course, if one reads Srimad Bhagavatam, which is full of descriptions of the Lord and his various incarnations and his pastimes, then the same benediction is there. The sun cannot diminish your life. You'll become immortal because you will become situated on the transcendental platform. You'll have nothing to do with this material body. So Bhagavatam is the solution to all problems. This episode of Banasura's fighting with Krishna and later on being saved by the grace of Lord Shiva is confirmation of the statement in the Bhagavad Gita that the worshippers of demigods cannot achieve any benediction without its being sanctioned by the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Here in this narration we find that although Banasura was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, when he faced death by Krishna, Lord Shiva was not able to save him. But Lord Shiva appealed to Krishna to save his devotee, and it was thus sanctioned by the Lord. This is the position of Lord Krishna. The exact words used in this connection in the Bhagavad Gita are Mayaiva Vihitan Hitan. This means that without the sanction of the Supreme Lord, no demigod can award any benediction to the worshipper. Lord Krishna sanctions all benedictions. No demigod can bestow any gift upon a worshipper without the sanction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the second volume, 8th chapter of Krishna. Lord Krishna fights with Banasura. So we're about to have Bhagavad Gita class. Is the speaker present yet? Haribol.
Thank you.
I should really get in the habit of looking at
What's
the board. So it's actually supposed to be the
that's okay. I think that's come out. Yeah, that should be alright. Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll try that. Okay, Hare Krishna. We're going to go through chapter 15, text 18 of the Bhagavad Gita of Purushottam Yoga. But before we do that, we'll start with a bit of Jai Radha Madhav. So if you've not heard this bhajan before, it's very simple. It's describing Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. And when I sing it, you can recite and copy. And the words are not hard. They're all names of Krishna. So hopefully we'll all know most of them. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Everybody together. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari. 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 Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Raja Janaranjana Jaya Nandana Jaya Raja Janaranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Raja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Jaya Raja Janaranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari 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 Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Okay, repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Thank you very much. So we're going to go through verse 18 of the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, but before I do that, I'll recite the Mangala Charan, which is prayers to our teachers, our spiritual masters, our gurus, all the way up to Krishna, to basically seek their blessings from the parampara to do justice to the class. If you know the words, you can recite along. If not, you can fold your hands, close your eyes, and meditate on the verses that are being said. Om Gnanatimirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadatmayam Dadati Swam Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapt Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Be'evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone should know this one. So together, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Okay, so reading. The verse is on the screen over there. I'm going to recite the verse and you can recite back after each line. Yasmaksharam atitoham aksharadapi chotama atosmi loke vedecha pratita purushotama. Yasmaksharam atitoham aksharadapi chotama atosmi loke vedecha pratita purushotama. Yasmaksharam atitoham aksharadapi chotama atosmi loke vedecha pratita purushotama. Okay, so now we're going to go through each word with its English description, and you can repeat each time I say a word. So, yasmat, because. Ksharam, to the fallible. Atita, transcendental. Aham, I am. Aksharat, beyond the infallible. Api, also. Cha, and. Uttama, the best. Atah, therefore. Asmi, I am. Loke, in the world. Vede, in the Vedic literature. Cha, and. Pratihita, celebrated. Purushottama, as the Supreme Personality. So the translation of this verse is as follows. And if you want, we can follow this as well one by one. Because I'm transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. Because I'm transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I'm the greatest, I'm celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. So Krishna's pointing out his superiority to everyone, and we're going to understand why. And this month is Adhik Mas, Purushottam month, which is why we read the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita to get closer to the Supreme Lord, which is Sri Krishna Purushottam. So today we're going to try and understand who this Purushottam is. So before we do that, we're going to go through the purport which Srila Prabhupada's given in the Bhagavad Gita. So Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Supreme... we got it. One sec. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, okay. No one can surpass the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, neither the conditioned soul nor the liberated soul. He is therefore the greatest of personalities. Now it is clear here that the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are individuals. The difference is that the living entities, either in the conditioned state or in the liberated state, cannot surpass in quantity the inconceivable potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is incorrect to think of the Supreme Lord and the living entities as being on the same level or equal in all respects. There is always the question of superiority and inferiority between their personalities. The word Uttam is very significant. No one can surpass the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word Loke signifies in the Paurusha Agama, the Smriti scriptures. As confirmed in the Nirukti dictionary, Lokyate Vidarto Nena. The purpose of the Vedas is explained by the Smriti scriptures. The Supreme Lord, in his localized aspect of Paramatma, is also described in the Vedas themselves. The following verse appears in the Vedas, Chandogya Upanishad 8:12-3. Tavadesha samprashado smach charirat samuthaya param jyoti rupam sampadya svena rupena bhinishpadyate sa uttama purusha. The super soul coming out of the body enters the impersonal Brahma Jyotir. Then, in his form, he remains in his spiritual identity. That Supreme is called the Supreme Personality. This means that the Supreme Personality is exhibiting and diffusing his spiritual effulgence, which is the ultimate illumination. That Supreme Personality also has a localized aspect as Paramatma. By incarnating himself as the son of Satyavati and Parashar, he explains the Vedic knowledge as Vyasadeva. So that's the end of the purport. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So just let me reiterate the verse for today. Yasmaksharamati toham aksharadapi chottama atosmi loke vedecha pratitaha purushottama. Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. So that's the end of our verse purport, but not the class. We're starting the class now. So as I mentioned, Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters, of which the 15th chapter is called Purushottam Yoga, the yoga of the Supreme Person. And it's one of the shortest chapters in the Bhagavad Gita, 20 verses. So Bhakti Yoga, chapter 12, and this chapter, chapter 15, have just 20 verses, but they're impactful verses, they're powerful verses. And the main essence of the 20 verses of chapter 15 is it summarizes our relationship as the jiva, as the soul, with the Supreme Lord in this material world. So it makes us understand who we are our own identity, of which there are two types, as we realize in this verse. And the second point of this chapter is to understand the nature of God, Ishwar. So who is Ishwar? What is his power? How come he's above us? And thirdly, to understand that relationship between the Jiva and Ishwar in this material world. Now, previously in this chapter, Krishna describes how all of us conditioned souls are eternally part and parcel of the Lord. So we're actually not separate from the Lord, we are from Krishna. But due to our conditioned life, due to forgetting who we truly are, our true identity, and getting stuck in this material concept of life and this life cycle in this material world, we are constantly struggling with our 6 senses, including our mind. So Krishna is pointing out in the beginning of this chapter that we are struggling in this material body, in this material world, because we've forgotten who we are and we're stuck with all of our experiences, our senses, including the mind. Now, that same conditioned jiva is basically going from one material body, one gross body to another. And it's carrying its conception of life. So it thinks that as the false ego, we've got this conception, okay, this is what I'm experiencing, this is me. But we're not seeing the bigger picture. We're stuck in this condition thinking this material world is it. This life experience is it. What we are going through is the ultimate, reason for living. And in one of the earlier verses, Krishna mentions how the body goes from one body to another. It's like an aroma, like the smell which travels through air from one place to another. So our soul is traveling from one body to another whilst we're in this conditioned mindset. So we're always enjoying our senses and going through another body. So that's the state of the conditioned soul. Unfortunately, they're in this trap. They don't understand who they truly are, and they don't know how to quit this cycle. They think this cycle is life. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge, so again, there's a verse in this chapter, one whose eyes are trained in knowledge to understand what's going on, they realize that this is a trap. They realize, okay, I have to wake up from this trap. It's a bit like The Matrix, if anyone's watched that movie, right? You're going through round and round, then you realize, hang on, this isn't real. So someone who's trained in knowledge will realize this trap and the real reality. And they are transcendentalists, people who are self-realized, and they see this, and they're able to get out of this trap. So they're the ones that are not conditioned. They're the ones that are liberated and free. But the ones who are conditioned, they struggle to see this, and that's why they struggle. So in this verse, we hear the words kshara and akshara. Kshara is this trapped person, is this conditioned soul. Akshara, the other type of person, is a liberated soul, and I'm going to expand on this. Later in this, or earlier in this chapter, Krishna then describes his qualities. And one of the things he points out is that all these various splendors, like the sun, how bright it is, that dissipates darkness, the moon, and the fire, all of that stuff is emanating from him. So Krishna is pointing out he's the source of all these things that give life. And he importantly points out also, he actually enters in all the planets and holds them and balances them. So if you think about Krishna's qualities and what he's able to do and what we're able to do, there's a massive difference. So Krishna's already highlighting these differences about what he can do and what we can't do. So he points this out, and another thing he points out is he's also the moon. So earlier in the chapter 15, he'll point out he's the moon, and he's helping us harvest our crops, because we need the moon to grow the food source and harvest it. So Krishna's pointing out that he's actually the moon as well, that helps us grow and give us a life supply of vegetables and food. And he also says he's the fire of digestion in our stomachs, in all living souls. So we need fire in our stomach to digest our food. That is also Krishna. So you can already start seeing a difference between a normal soul and this super soul Krishna and what he's capable of doing. So in short, Krishna's pointing out the difference between the jivas and who God is. Who's Bhagwan, who's Ishwar. And then as we've heard in this first sentence of the purport, no one can surpass the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's the point here. So this leads us to verses 16 to 18. So today we're going through 18, but just want to point out, I'm going to summarize 16 and 17 as well, because together, 16, 17 and 18 of Purushottam Yoga, of the 15th chapter, they also form as a powerful joint thing called the Tri Shloki Gita. So you may have heard of Chatur Shloki Gita, which is chapter 10, verses 8 to 11. So they say if one understands chapter 10 and just understands these 4 verses, 8, 9, 10, 11, you're able to realize what perfection is and what your relationship to Krishna is and what your purpose of life is. Because Bhagavad Gita has 700 verses. We might not remember all of them, but if you remember some of these in the important lessons, everything else becomes easier for us. Same way, text 16, 17, and 18 of this chapter, Purushottam Yoga, if we kind of realize the essence of these 3 verses together, we will see that we will be the knower of everything. So I'll point that at the end. But the idea is that these 3 verses together, they're so powerful that we can actually realize our relationship with Krishna and pretty much get awakened from this slumber of the material world. And that will help us get onto the right path and hopefully become a liberated soul. So this is why these 3 verses are important. So I'm going to quickly summarize the 3. So 16 identifies the fallible and the infallible jiva. Dvavimo purusho loke sharak shakshara evacha. So the 16th verse points out there's 2 types of jivas, and I'll get into that. 17 points out who's Ishvara, who's the Supreme Personality. And 18 points out the ultimate truth, our relationship between him as the jiva, whether it's the shara, the fallible, or the akshara, the infallible, and Ishvara in this material world. And why Krishna is supreme. He's Purushottam, Purush Uttam, the topmost person, the supreme person. So in 16, Krishna identifies the 2 types of jivas, as I mentioned, the fallible, kshara, and the akshara, the infallible. So sometimes you may hear this terminology in our philosophy, nitya baddha, nitya mukta. So nitya means eternal, baddha means bound, and the other version, mukta, means liberated. So there's 2 types of souls, nitya baddha, nitya mukta, the fallible and the infallible. The fallible are the ones that are struggling. They're stuck and bound by the material world. The infallible, they're liberated. And you might even hear another term, nitya siddhas. So they've realized, they're self-realized. They know who they are spiritually. So they're not stuck to this material concept. So Krishna points out these 2 types of people, or 2 types of soul in this world. The infallibles, the nitya siddhas, nitya muktas, they are, on the other hand, they're not bound. They're from the spiritual world, they're part of the spiritual world, but they do come down here to help Krishna in his mission. So it's not like this whole world is just full of nitya baddhas or people who are fallible. There are infallible souls on this world, in this planet, they're self-realized, but they are helping Krishna fulfill whatever mission he wants in this world. But the difference is, once their job is done, they don't stick around like the bound people. They don't stick around like the fallible people. Because they don't have anything to enjoy here. Their main enjoyment is actually serving Krishna, whether it's here or in the spiritual world. So once their task is done here, they go back to the spiritual world to basically help Krishna fulfill his motives and desires over there. So the unconditioned soul, if you want to kind of highlight it that way, they don't have any personal motives. That's the key bit. The people who are bound here, because of lack of knowledge and because of lack of realizing who they truly are, they stuck thinking that they are the Lord. They are enjoying their senses. But once we snap out of that condition and realize, actually, this is holding us down, we should be doing something for a higher cause, that's when you become realized. And that's your journey from nitya baddha to nitya mukta, from fallible to infallible. So it's possible we can become a spiritual soul and realize our own identity and get freed from here. So it's not like you're permanently going to be stuck here. Some people have this concept that all jivas are either stuck here in bondage or they're free. There's no transference. But by doing devotional service, by realizing who we are, by gaining the right knowledge, we can realize who we truly are again and go back to the spiritual world. In verse 17, Krishna points out the main difference between him and us in this material body. Krishna mentions that above these 2 jivas, the Supreme Lord himself, Ishvara, is ultimate and imperishable. So avyaya is the word used. So imperishable means something that doesn't expire, something that doesn't disintegrate or something that doesn't turn into dust. Basically, Krishna is everlasting. He's full on everlasting. So he's entered the three worlds and he's maintaining it. Now, whilst he enters all the living beings as Paramatma, the Jiva is still its own identity. So this goes back to one of the points in the purport. Krishna and us Jivas, we both have our own identities. We're not exactly merged into one as such. However, we are as one in terms of unity, which I'll expand on. So the Jiva still retains his own identity, but can never take the post of God. So this is where we make the mistake when we're stuck in this material. We think we own everything. We think we control everything. We basically think we're mini gods. But when we pass away, the first thing that happens is we leave our body, and our body is perishable, meaning it disintegrates, it goes, it can burn into ash. But Krishna's body doesn't do that. Krishna's body is spiritual. He's full on spiritual. Everything of his is everlasting. Everything that we have in this material world is not everlasting. So if you think about it this way, that we may be able to say that we are qualitatively one with God, but not quantity-wise, not power-wise. It's because technically our original form is spirit soul, Satchitananda, eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. But we've forgotten that, part one. So we get attached to this material body and think that our body is eternal, all our achievements are eternal, we've got all the knowledge in the world, but when we pass away from this life and pass away from this body, it's actually secondary. It's not spiritual. There's a difference. Krishna is spiritual. His whole body is spiritual. This material body is not. So quality-wise, yes, we can share the same qualities with the Lord, but not the power and the quantity. Krishna's power is beyond us. So say, for example, Krishna said he's the digestion fire in everyone's body. Can we do that? Can we become fire in people's body and digest food? No. Can we become the moon and help harvest our own crops? No. Can we remember everything? Krishna says he remembers everything. He's the Vedas. He gives memory to everyone. Can we remember everything? Probably not. Last week I forgot my password at work. I had to ask for someone to reset it. Right? If I can forget my password, how can I be God? Right? Krishna doesn't forget anything. We have a tendency to forget things. So you can see there's a whole difference between Krishna as God and us as the Jivas. And it's nothing to be embarrassed about. We have to acknowledge this superiority. So you can see that we struggle. Krishna doesn't. From our own false ego, we sometimes think we own everything, right? And when we pass away, we think, yeah, we're going to hold on to this till death. But the irony is that whether you're a rich person, you're a poor person, or even if you're a thief and you know how to steal things and hold on to other people's things, doesn't matter. When you pass away, your body is going to perish. Everything that you hold is going to perish. You're not going to hold on to it anymore. It means nothing. So we lose everything that we hold, but Krishna, he never loses anything that he holds. He never, he's always complete. He's never incomplete. So you can see there's a huge difference between the soul and Krishna. So this is verse 17. We realize this relationship between the Jiva, and we realize actually Krishna is more powerful. And that leads us to today's verse. So because Krishna is superior to both the conditioned and the liberated souls, he is celebrated in the Vedas and the Smritis as Purushottam, the supreme person. So the meaning of Purush, Uttam, the supreme person. That's what this means. So what makes Krishna Purushottam? Let's talk about this. So as I mentioned, whether you're a conditioned soul or whether you're a liberated soul, we still got a task to do. And we are bound to do some task. We've got some duty to perform. But Krishna, he's free. He's not stuck to this world. He's of this world. He's created this world, but he's not stuck by the bondage and the rules of this world. He can do whatever he wants. He's the boss. Simple. In simple language. He can do anything he wants. We can't. Right? So he can do as he pleases. He can go anywhere as he pleases as well. He's a supreme Lord. Now the liberated souls, the spiritual souls, the aksharas, They can also come and go as they please, as I mentioned, but as I said, they're here to perform a duty towards serving Krishna, and then once they've served Krishna over here, they don't want to do anything else. They want to go back to the spiritual world and serve Krishna over there. So yes, they, a Nitya Siddha, Nitya Mukta person, infallible person, they can do as they want, technically speaking, because they spiritually realize, but they still perform according to rules, Maryada, which I'm going to go on to, but they do it for Krishna. They serve for Krishna and then they go. The fallible person, the conditioned soul, as I mentioned, they're stuck. They think that, they are the Lord. They think that this body is forever. Unfortunately, they're stuck in this whole cycle. So they struggle. So that's the position which some of us are in. But for everyone who's here in this temple room right now, you're not all fallen. You're not all fallible. Reason being, you've got some faith, some shraddha in Krishna, which is why you're here to take darshan. Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda ki jai, Shri Shri Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ji ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Shri Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrindadev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, as I mentioned, and he's just given the cue there. We've all come to see Krishna. We want to build some sort of relationship with Krishna. That means we've got some sort of realization. We've awakened in some form or way. So don't put yourself down. A lot of people will be like, oh, I'm so fallen, there's no chance for me escaping this life, and, I got zero qualification to do this and that. Let's be honest, the fact we all even got into this temple room and taken darshan, that's showing you got qualification to become a Nitya Siddha. If you didn't have that, you could be doing something else and be stuck in material, activities, getting drunk or being silly. But here, you've all come here, so technically speaking, you've got some form of shraddha, some form of faith in the Lord, some form of acknowledgement that He's Purushottam. So I'm come to see Him. So that's a good sign. So listening to Bhagavad Gita class, doing service, we realize we actually want to get out of this trap. So that's congratulations to everyone who's over here for today and doing any sort of spiritual service to the Lord. So there is chance to convert from kshara to akshara, from fallible to infallible for all of us. So what makes Krishna the ultimate Lord, Purushottam? Why worship Him? Once Srila Prabhupada was asked this question in the 70s. So there was some question going around by Mensa. Anyone know what Mensa is? It's meant to be like some intelligent people society. They came up with this question for philosophers and scientists to argue. And the question was, can God create a rock so heavy that He cannot lift it? And this was called the omnipotence paradox. So it's a paradox. There's like a two-sided flip of the coin. You're asking and challenging what God's powers are, if He's unlimited, and then you're asking, can He create something that He can't lift Himself either? Now, all these scientists, all these philosophers of that time, they were making these complex arguments, pages, hours of discussions. Srila Prabhupada was asked this question by his disciples, saying, this is a question going around. And we're talking about what makes Krishna Purushottam, the ultimate Lord. So this question is valid. Can Krishna create a rock that even He can't lift? Srila Prabhupada's answer was very simple. He said, yes, He can indeed create a rock that is heavy and that He can't lift, but then later on He'll lift it. That's God. That's Krishna. That's Purushottam. In our material senses, we think that there's this rule, this logic, this limitation. But beyond the material world, in the spiritual realm and in Krishna, He is totally complete. He can even do something and He can even break something. Because He's Krishna, He's Purushottam, He can do that. So Krishna is beyond the rules of our restricted logic and bodily conception. We have to accept that fact in the nicest way possible and have faith in it. Another time, this is a story from one of the Chopati brahmacharis. I can't remember who, Gauranga Prabhu or Gaur-Gopal Prabhu. They had this pastime, they go that in the temple room, there was a picture, and I think it's in the Bhagavad Gita. It's a picture of the 10 avatars. I'm sure some of you may have seen this, if I can find it. Here we go. So in your copy of the Gita, when you go home, you can look at this picture. It's an interesting pastime. It's a bit later, actually. Yeah, we split it in two parts in this version. So I want to just show this so it makes sense to what we're looking and talking about. Or have we passed it? Okay, they've taken out of this version. I'll get my version out. It's a bit smaller. So there's this picture of the Dashavatars, which some of you may have seen. So obviously, our devotees make nice artwork. And it's got Krishna in the middle. And it's got all the other Dashavatars around Krishna. This picture. If you want to kind of make an idea, then you can look for it. Yeah, you can see Krishna in the middle. And all these other Dashavatars around. So you got Matsya, Kalki, Nrsimhadev, Varadev, Ram, Parshuram, all around this picture. Now the story goes that this new person, totally unaware of Krishna consciousness, went to the temple. He saw this picture on the wall. And he was looking at it. And he was trying to find out answers to which religion is the best, or, the usual when you're exploring. And who's God? And who's the supreme God? And then obviously someone thinks this is a new person coming to the temple. Let's talk to him, find out who he is and does he know who Krishna is. So he asked him, hey, welcome to, Hare Krishna temple. Can I help you? And he goes, yeah, I want to know and confirm who God is, who the Supreme Lord is. And just about when this person was about to speak about, okay, Krishna is the Supreme Lord and this is right, the usual, which we say to new guests, the new person was like, yeah, I can see Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He said it with conviction. So this person was surprised, the devotee is like, how come he already knows the answer? And he thought, okay, does he know all the Vedas? Has he read and summarized the Bhagavad Gita? What is it? And he said, no, I've not read anything. This is the first time I'm coming to the temple, but I can see from that picture, Krishna is the Supreme Lord because he's doing nothing but playing the flute, but all the other gods around him are doing something. Ram is looking around for Sita in the forest with his bow. Parshuram is killing all these Kshatriyas with his axe. Matsya is pulling a boat. Nrsimhadev is killing Hiranyakashipu with his nails. All these other lords, all these other avatars are doing something, but Krishna is just sitting in the middle, smiling, playing a flute. Only the boss can do that. So even a person who doesn't understand everything was able to see from a picture that, okay, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's Purushottam. However, we can obviously, when we're growing up in our society, in our Hindu, Vedic, Sanatana Dharma culture, some people recite the Vishnu Sahasranam, and we say Vishnu is Purushottam. We even say Lord Ram is Purushottam. And we say Krishna is Purushottam. They're all Purushottam. Nothing wrong with it. They're all Vishnu avatar. They're all Krishna avatar. But what makes Krishna the topmost Purushottam? So we may have heard that Ram is Maryada Purushottam Ram. Yeah? We've heard this. Yeah? Okay. So Maryada, what does Maryada mean? Discipline, lawful, moral. Okay, you can see the point here. So Lord Ram is the most ideal Purushottam. Why? Because he follows the rules. He doesn't bend the rules. He's got morals. He's got discipline, as you said. But Krishna, he's Purna Purushottam. He's Leela Purushottam. So you're probably thinking, what's this difference with all these different Purushottam bhais going on over here, right? You got Leela Purushottam, Maryada Purushottam, Purna Purushottam. You got Vishnu as Purushottam. So who is Purushottam? They're all Purushottam, but Ram was moralistic and lawful. He followed the rules. Krishna, being the Purna Purushottam, not only does he follow the rules, but he can also break the rules. There's the key difference. The ultimate Lord can break the rules he's created for a good reason. Not for just fun, but for dharma, for upholding dharma. So, there's been different examples when Krishna has apparently broken rules, but for dharma. Anyone know any examples? No? Taking the wheel out of the, when Karna was taking the wheel out of the mud? That past, yeah, correct. So in the Mahabharata, good one. I didn't have that on my list, but again, there's a reason for that, and that comes up with my third one. So let's go to my third one. So in the Mahabharata, Krishna tried to set up a dharma yudh, a war of righteousness where rules shouldn't be broken. But Obviously, the Kauravas, they started breaking the rules. That's when Krishna said, okay, rules are broken, now I can help my devotees by lawfully breaking the rules to win the war. So one example, Maharaj Yudhishthira. In order to get rid of Dronacharya, he had to make Yudhishthira lie and say Ashwatthama has been killed, right? But that was a lie, because Ashwatthama that was killed was not the son of Dronacharya, it was an elephant called Ashwatthama. So Bhim killed the elephant, and then he started roaring around, Ashwatthama has been killed. So Dronacharya got disturbed, and then he would only believe if Yudhishthira is saying the truth. So he asked Yudhishthira, who's been killed? Krishna told Yudhishthira, say Ashwatthama has been killed. But Yudhishthira, being Yudhishthira, did he have full faith in Krishna? Technically speaking, he wanted to uphold dharma. So he said, yes, Ashwatthama is killed, but then he whispered, or he kind of, said under his breath, but I don't know if it was a man or an elephant. Anorava and a Kunjava. So the problem is, he basically followed what Krishna said, but he didn't fully trust Krishna. So this is why that lie or that breaking of the rule worked, but Yudhishthira's chariot, it said that because he was Dharmaraj, it never touched the ground, but the moment he said that, it touched the ground. And you have to remember, it's not because Krishna said to lie, it's because he didn't fully trust Krishna. He wanted to uphold his dharma. Not sarva dharma parityaja, surrender all forms of dharma to Krishna. He actually held on to his own dharma still. That leads to Mataji's point. Rules already broken. So Krishna, it was a righteous war. Arjuna was about to strike Karna because he was off his chariot. But the rule was, if he's off a chariot and he's on a chariot, you can't kill him. But Krishna said, forget that rule, strike him. He broke the rules when he killed your son, so what are you waiting for? There was no other way. So Krishna guides us to sometimes break the rules for good reason, to protect dharma. So thank you, Mataji. Another two I've got, very simple one, Makanchor. Krishna was a thief. Was Lord Ram a thief? No. He was Maryada Purushottam, but Krishna is Leela Purushottam, and he's a thief, and we celebrate it. During Janmashtami, like Makanchor, swinging him and singing all these songs and saying how sweet. If we stole something, there wouldn't be a nice poster of us celebrating it. There would be a picture of us saying wanted. Right? So Krishna can break the rules, but why did he break the rules? Why did he steal Makan? Because all these other boys were malnourished in Gokul. All these other children were malnourished. All this unfair tax was done by Kamsa to say all your butter that you produce, go straight to Mathura. So Krishna basically was the modern day, or the Gokul version of Robin Hood. Take from the rich, feed the poor. So he broke rules to help devotees and help the Vrajavasis. So he wasn't, he's breaking rule for fun. He did it to protect dharma and fight Kamsa. And the second one I had, stealing the gopis' clothes. If you think about it, someone steals ladies' clothes, that's, my God, what is going on over here? That's unmoral, right? But for Krishna, we celebrate that. Why? Because Krishna is able to do this because he's got a superior motive in what he's doing. It's Leela, number one, but number two is to help the devotee realize their relationship with him. So what did he help? How did he actually, do this for the devotees? So all the gopis wanted Krishna, the Supreme Purushottam, as their husband, right? So he tested them. And he basically stole all their clothes while they're bathing in the Yamuna after finishing the Katyayani Vrat, where they prayed for Krishna become our husband. So obviously Krishna was like, okay, you want me to be your husband? Here I'm on the tree with your clothes. Let me see you full surrendered. So Krishna basically helped the gopis in that final act of surrender, which was to shed their ego, to shed their pride, and become fully surrendered. They were hiding themselves, obviously, right? But in terms of Krishna, in terms of your husband, you got nothing to hide. So Krishna said, okay, surrender. And then I'll give you clothes. And then they fully surrendered without any deviation, without any, hiding things. They were fully, okay, Krishna, we're yours. And they got their clothes back. So Krishna helped them shed their ego, shed their final piece of what holds them back materially, and made them become spiritually. So you can see, Krishna's, yes, broken rules, done things which are questionable, hence he's not said Maryada Purushottam, but we say he's complete. He's beyond Lord Ram. He's Purna Purushottam. So for us jivas, one thing to take from this is, we should learn to live a straightforward life like Lord Ram. But when Krishna instructs us to do something, listen to him fully. Don't be Maharaj Yudhishthira and put your own little masala and flavor into it and change it a little bit because you think that it's going to hold your dharma. If Krishna instructs you to fully do something, do it. Dharma rakshati rakshita. One who protects dharma will protect them. That's from the Mahabharata. So here, if you follow Krishna, follow what he says. If you want to live a life, do how Ram did. So basically, moralistic life, but then follow what Krishna says. That's how we should apply our understanding of life. So, also it's worth pointing out the Purushottam part. So, in our teachings, in our philosophy, in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we've got a personality called Rupa Goswami. He's one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, and they were students of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in one of his teachings, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the Nectar of Devotion in short, that's the English version which we got, but the full version, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It's a very nice book. He describes the unique qualities possessed by Bhagwan, by Krishna. And he lists 64 qualities. So Krishna has all 64. But here's the interesting thing. According to all what he's concluded from Padma Puran and all the Vedas and everything, Sri Ram and Sri Vishnu hold 60 of those 64 qualities. So this is where you can see that difference between, and it's not to put anyone down. Sri Ram is on the altar as well. They're all the same. But in terms of qualities, Krishna has all 64. Purna Purushottam. Lord Ram, Lord Vishnu have 60 of the 64. So you can read in Nectar of Devotion what the 64 are, but I'll give you the 4 differences. The first one, Leela Madhurya, sweet pastimes. Lord Ram lived as like a grahastha. Krishna lived everything and had all these different relationships with everyone. If you read the Mahabharata, read the Bhagavatam, you will see all these pastimes, and Krishna reciprocates in all the 5 mellows, all the 5 rasas, Shantya, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. And within Madhurya, there's 2 types, Swakhya and Parakya. Swakhya meaning you got an actual lawful wife. Parakya, you got outside of married life. Lord Ram was Maryada Purushottam, so you can see that difference there. Krishna did everything fully. Second one that's different, Prema Madhurya, which goes to that point. The loving relationship. So they're kind of in time. So Krishna performed all types of love. Lord Ram didn't. Lord Vishnu has that opulence and Aishwarya Bhav, so he's restricted as well in what he performs and does. Venu Madhurya. What does Venu mean? Anyone know? Flute. Bansri. Exactly. Venu. Flute. Anyone seen Lord Ram play flute? Vishnu play flute? Krishna plays flute, and the most beautiful flute in the whole of creation. So that makes him even more supreme. Right? Last one, Rupa Madhurya. Rupa means beauty. Krishna is said to be the most beautiful, even most beautiful than Lord Vishnu, even most beautiful than Lord Ram. Obviously, all of them are more beautiful than all of us, right? But Krishna is the ultimate form of beauty. You can't surpass him. Srimati Radharani might have something else to say about that, but that's the point, right? Radha Krishna are supreme that way. So you can see there's a difference between the types of Purushottam, but they're all Purushottam. But Krishna is Leela Purushottam, Purna, full Purushottam. So you can see that difference there. So Krishna declares in the Vedas that he is supreme, and in his written expansion, as we heard in the last part of this purport, Srila Vyasadeva compiled all the Vedas as complete knowledge, and that complete knowledge is revealed by Krishna himself. So Krishna is the incarnation of Ved Vyas, Vedescha sarve aham eva vedya. That's also in this chapter. But the point is, all of this knowledge comes from Krishna, and because this knowledge comes from Krishna, this is also complete. Because it's Purushottam. So we shouldn't doubt anything Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, anything that's given in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the complete form of the Vedas put together. So what is the phal of knowing these 3 verses, 16, 17, and 18, the 3 Shloki Gita? So someone's going to give the class on that tomorrow, 19, but I'm going to still give the answer. In that verse, Krishna says that whoever knows me as Purushottam, without doubting, So remember the without doubting bit. Remember you just doubted Krishna a bit, so then what happened? Without doubt, if we know Krishna is Purushottam, what is the reward? That person is the knower of everything. He will know everything. Now here's the thing. I've just described those 3 verses. So do we know everything? Does anyone know who's going to win the World Cup in a few weeks? No. Does anyone know what the gravitational law is? Do they have a PhD in it straight away? No. We don't know everything, right? So Krishna's saying that person who knows this relationship between them as the jiva and Purushottam in this material world, they will become the knower of everything. But do we know everything? So what does Krishna mean by he becomes a knower of everything, right? We have to have doubt. We can't have any doubt in what he's saying, right? So here, Krishna says in that verse, he becomes a knower of everything, and hence he engages himself in full devotional service unto him. He performs bhakti towards him. So why perform bhakti towards Purushottam? You've acknowledged he's the Supreme Lord, number 1. So that's the main point. The knower of everything knows who they are as the soul, their identity, their true identity, their relationship with Bhagwan Ishvara, and their relationship. And you realize you're the das, you're the servant of the Lord, so that's why you're serving him. That's all you need to know. Because if you think about it, in this material world, after you've left this body, which is perishable, and the Lord's is not, you don't own anything. You don't own the car you're driving, the house you own, the family you have, all the PhDs you've gained, all the awards you've won, means nothing. So it doesn't matter about what PhDs you've gathered, that's secondary. The true knowledge is your relationship as Atma with the Paramatma. If you know that, then you're the knower of everything. That's what Krishna is stating over here. This is your ultimate relationship with Purushottam. So know of everything really means that you know who you truly are. So that means you've achieved the ultimate goal, peace and happiness, eternal peace and happiness. That's the whole message of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is telling Arjuna, doesn't matter what you do, surrender all the results onto me. Don't worry about this, the material benefits and results. You're going to get the spiritual benefits and the results. And this is the spiritual benefits and the results of the 3 Shloki Gita. You realize who you truly are, your relationship with Krishna, and you rekindle that relationship and you realize, okay, you know what? I want to go back to the spiritual world and be eternally happy and at peace with you, Krishna. That's what this whole essence of the 3 Shloki Gita is. So one would say, okay, does that mean we merge with the Lord after? So that whole point of oneness, ekatva. The oneness is not you merging into the Lord. Remember, we've realized the jiva has its own separate identity from the Lord, but we have a spiritual form and we unite with the Lord in terms of purpose. So we have this understanding, this union of, okay, I'm your servant, you're my Lord, and yes, I'm going to serve you happily, and we're going to, whatever you want me to do, whatever mission you want me to go on, I'll do for you, and I'll please you. And that's where my happiness is. That's the oneness. It's in understanding, not in body. So that's a key point to point out here. That's Mayavad philosophy. Here, Krishna is saying, no, the jiva is eternally separate from the Lord, but from the Lord, and shares the qualities and the understanding with the Lord. So this is Purushottam Yoga. So this is about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We've got a few minutes. If anyone's got any questions, and you can go. Hare Krishna. That's in essence what it is, because that's the primary knowledge we need. Because when we get entangled in this body, we think, oh, to know everything means we need to know, how to do equations, how to do algebra, how to, pass our GCSE exams, A-levels, etc., and get a PhD and get a good job, and I need to know this, that. That's to perform our material duties. But that duty is not permanent. Our eternal sanatan dharma, eternal duty is what? To serve the Lord in whichever way He wants us to serve Him. So the main knowledge we need really is our relationship with the Lord. And we need to understand who we are in relationship to the Lord, what my friendship or, what type of rasa I have with the Lord, and how I can help Him, perform whatever He wants me to do. So yeah, that's the summary I've got from that as well. So the duty part, yeah. So Mataji is pointing the right thing here, that I mentioned that a liberated soul doesn't have a duty. They have a duty, is material, is secondary, but their main duty is spiritual. So in essence, the material duty is there as a cover-up. But it's not something that they're bound to do or bound for doing. Their main purpose is the spiritual duty, which is the purpose of coming and supporting Krishna in whatever he wants to have, achieve in this creation and importantly in his Leela, frankly speaking. To be honest, Krishna already decided what he wants us to do for him. It's whether we take that spot up sooner rather than later. But yeah, that's what worth clarifying. The duty I meant material rather than spiritual. So thank you for that. Any other questions or comments? No? So Arti is going to open up in a minute's time. So thank you for being a nice students in this class. And I hope you gained something from it. And I hope you all worship Purushottam today. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Please, can we just keep a narrow corridor up the center of the temple room so that there's a direct line of sight between Srila Prabhupada and the deities. Our spiritual master is sitting at the back of the temple room, and we don't want our back toward him. Thank you.
Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda ki, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Gaur Nitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Ki Bajayo Jayo, Gaura Chande, Arati Ka Shobha. Ki Bajayo Jayo, Gaura Chande, Arati Ka Shobha. Jana Vedata Vane, Jagamanalopa, Tashi Leneta Ja, Bhave Gadadhara. Ekade Advaita Shri Vasa Chakradhara. Kosi Ache Gauracha, Yatna Jamasane. Arati Karana
Mala Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravadi Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatyadesakarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajikacharya Stotra Sada Shri Srimad Abhay Charanaravind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajikacharya Stotra Sada Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Gangamai Ki Yamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulsi Maharani Ki Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Nitai Gaur Pramanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. Now everybody can please be seated. We'll sing the prayers for Lord Nissing a day.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladalajadaine. कर कमल वरे नाका अद्भुत सिंह दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे कमल करे नाका अद्भुत सिंह दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव 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 जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
श्री श्री नृसिंह भगवान की भक्तराज प्रहलाद महाराज की गौर premanandi. So now there'll be Mahaprasadam served for everyone in the reception, and the next party will be at 9 p.m. Oh, and there'll be kirtan continuing here also.